once I decided to tell these friends of mine, it became a little bit easier because I had someone to talk to. And they all asked me, they're like, oh, who is it? Like, who did you fall for? Just random questions that I needed to answer, even just to myself. If it wasn't to them, it was nice to know, like, what people were wondering, and, like, I could relate it to me and how I actually felt. So that was nice. Because it took me 3 months, those 3 months was basically me trying to decide who I was going to tell, how I was going to say it, and it was probably one of the hardest choices I've made just because I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. And it obviously worked out okay because, like I said, they did end up supporting me, and they were like, duh, dude, we know. It's not a big deal, so don't worry about it. But it's never easy, I don't think, to figure out, like, who you're going to tell. It's a process, and you only choose people that you think you're going to get along with and that are going to stay there and support you. So that's what I did. Fighting with my mom during those months was something I don't ever want to do again. And like I said, we're still just now kind of getting back on that path of reconciliation, and it's been tough. But those first 3 months when I needed someone to talk to and I thought it could be her, but without telling her the truth, it was really hard. And knowing that I had a couple friends now made it a little bit easier, I guess. So I told those friends, and from there I decided I'm gonna deal with this on my own, like as much as I can. And basketball continued. That was on Valentine's Day, and basketball continued through April, end of April-ish, I think. I don't really know. That was 4 years ago. Over 4 years ago, just kidding. Good job, I'm in college. I don't even know. 7 years ago now. Duh. And I stayed friends with that girl. The one that I was writing about. Our friendship actually is still intact to this day, and like I was just texting her earlier actually, and she still doesn't know. So I don't know, like, if I should tell her or not. Like, I feel like she has the right to know, but I'm not really sure how to say it, I guess. So she became friends with one of my friends that I ended up telling, so she knew, and we actually had an art class together. And me and this other girl would always get my friend in trouble. Not on purpose, but like our teacher just had something out for this other girl, and me and the girl I liked would always get her in trouble somehow. So, graduation was coming up, and I was freaking out because she was telling me she was gonna go across the state, like she's gonna go back to kind of where she moved from, and I thought that was gonna be really tough. I was like, oh my gosh, I've fallen so hard for you, and you're gonna leave. I didn't really know what to do. It was pretty tough, but me and my friend went to the seniors graduation party, and I didn't really want to go because I knew that was going to be like saying goodbye, and I went, I met her family and everything, and it wasn't really that big a deal, but I just knew, like, well, I have another week and a half of school, she's done, she's graduated, this isn't going to last. But ended up working out that, you know what, 4 years isn't really that big a deal, but when you're in high school it is. So the end of that came around, and she graduated, I stayed in school, friends, stuff. She went to college, and we talked every once in a while and stuff, and I talked to her every once in a while now, but obviously not every night like we used to during that basketball season. The next part, I guess, comes with another one of my friends. I just gotta stop falling for my friends. I'm kidding, don't do that. Do fall for a friend if you can. You can't choose, but fall for a friend because then you already have that connection. This one was younger than me, and through everything, we were just dealing with a lot of stuff together, and we just started talking every night. And eventually we talked about it, and I was like, here's the deal, like, this is how it was last year with this girl. And she's like, oh, I didn't know you fell for her and stuff. And we just became really quick friends through it. And then one day we were just kind of both like, hey, like, I told her, I was like, I need to tell you something. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I told her, I was like, I've fallen for you now, and I don't really know what to do because I don't want to lose you. She's like, well, you're not going to lose me because I like you too. And it was just like instant for me. I just knew that this is how it was going to be from now on. I was never going to be with a guy again. I knew finally what the feeling was to get those feelings back, or, like, have someone tell you, yeah, I like you too. And because it was a girl, it was just kind of shocking, and I liked it, and I loved the feeling I got, just like the warm, tingly feeling or whatever. And we just stayed friends for about 7 months through this, and then I think we faded apart. And it was really tough because I was friends with her, but I was also talking to this guy, and like I said before, I was like, oh yeah, I'll never be with a guy again. But I started dating him in August that year, and this was still kind of like before. So it was like May to August, I was like talking to this guy because that first girl. And then in August, I started dating this guy, but I was talking to this new girl. New being a key word that's not really new because we were friends before. And I started dating him, and I was talking to this girl, and her name is Emily. The first girl's name is Natasha, so we'll go Natasha, Emily. And this guy's name was Jordan. And we just, I don't know, basketball came around. There's something about basketball, and it came around, and I was 15, and I knew he wasn't going to be the one I wanted to be with because I had fallen for Emily. And so we dated from August to December, and one night in December we left town for a basketball trip, and I just texted him before my game, and I was like, hey, I think we should see other people. And this was like a week and a half before Christmas break, I think. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever, like, I'm pissed. Obviously I did it through texting, that was stupid. And I was with this girl, she played basketball too, Emily did, and I talked to her on the bus ride home, and I was like, hey, I told you I like you, and I just broke up with my boyfriend. And she's like, oh, okay, like, we can talk and stuff. So we made that short trip home or whatever, and we kept talking, and that week was good. It didn't last very long though, because I left for Las Vegas with my family, and we were walking down the strip one day, and I got this text from Emily, and she was like, hey, just letting you know that I can't talk because I'm going to Jordan's house. And I asked her, I was like, Jordan, like the Jordan I just broke up with? And she's like, yep. I turned my phone off for the rest of that week. I think there's like 3 days left of our trip, and I turned it off. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not. And I got home, and I talked to her, and she said, I can't be with you because I actually want to be with Jordan. And it broke me so quick, because I just broke up with this kid like 2 weeks ago, and you're hanging out with them, and I'm out of town, you're at my ex-boyfriend's house, I like you, and you said you liked me back, and just stupid high school drama. Just stupid. So I let her go. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with him. I think I ended up texting him or something, and I was just like, that's so stupid, like, she's my best friend, why would you do that? And like, to her, I was like, I just broke up with him, blah blah blah. So then it was state basketball. So we had January to April, mid-April, yeah, about mid-April, and we were down there. I'm with my family, and then I was hanging out with another one of my friends, and I got a text from one of the band members who was in band with Emily, and she's like, hey, you guys should come over to the hotel. We're gonna play Truth or Dare tonight, and I have a dare that I'm supposed to give to you. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And this was one of my friends that I hadn't told a year before, and actually she was one of the ones that was in that church camp that I finally figured it out. She was down there with me, and she's like, well, Emily told me she wants to kiss you on Truth or Dare. And I was like, oh, okay, why not? So I convinced my mom and this other girl's mom to let us go over there. So we did, and we were hanging out and stuff, and like all these like band boys kept coming into the room, and they were pissing me off because I just wanted to play the stupid Truth or Dare game, but they kept coming in, and I wasn't going to do it in front of them because I knew it would get back to the rest of the school. And so that night didn't end up happening. I went back home, and it was Nicole's birthday party, and actually Natasha's ex-boyfriend, they'd just broken up, and Emily started talking to him. And at this birthday party, like, we were getting really close. Like, I felt like we were gonna kiss. Like, it's my first girl kiss. And we're, like, spooning on the tramp with a couple other couples that are out there. And I'm, like, she's, like, showing me her phone, like, asking me what to say. And I don't realize who she's texting. And I'm, like, finally I was just like, who are you texting? She's like, Clayton. He's gonna come over here, and I'm gonna leave with him. He's like, Clayton, you're gonna leave with Clayton. And she's like, yeah, we've kind of been talking for a while, and I really like him. And I was just like, you can do what you want, I'm done. Like, you're done playing me, and this has been going on for like the last 7 months. I was just like, this is stupid. I'm done getting my heart broken by you. You knew how I felt. You're my best friend. I've told you everything, and you're just screwing me over. So that was the end of that. I really thought something was going to happen at that party, and then what did end up happening was that she left. So that's part 2. And then I'll probably do chapter 3, which is basically the end, and I'll try to mesh that with the first year of college, and maybe we'll be done with this coming out story. And thanks for watching. Comment below. Let me know if I didn't answer anything, if you felt like I might have left something out, or if I repeated myself way too much. Let me know, and I'll do my best to fix chapter 3 and make it good.